Okay, so today we're reviewing for the top 20 final. I want to quick, not even take out your calculator, but weirdly, I'm going to be your calculator. And I'm going to ask you for a little bit of review before we take the top 20 of inverse normal. We just did it yesterday. And if I said, for example, that we have a bunch of kids here who have been on a plane, most of you have. There'll probably be a few of you that haven't been on a plane yet. But if I said that the average number of times you've been on a plane is 5, and the standard deviation for that is 2.5, meaning the typical person hasn't been on a plane 5 times, you've been off by a 1 or 2 from that, okay? Then how would you put it in the calculator, INV normal, if you want to find out who's in the top 10% most traveled? How would you do that? Do you remember? We did it yesterday. If you forgot, I'll tell you, but don't say it. Write it. And I will type it in for you, and we'll see if you were doing it right. It's under DISTR, D-I-S-T-R, and it's inverse norm. And the first thing they ask you is area. If you want to be in the top 10%, then you do not put 0.1. That would tell you the bottom 10%. If you want top 10%, you are in the 90th percentile. Who knew that it was a 0.90 there? Okay, good. And then try to figure out what goes next. And last, and I want to have a prediction. You aren't supposed to be using your calculator right now. You're supposed to be just kind of like saying what you'd put in. And I would like you to predict. If the average number of trips is 5, what do you think you'd have to have for a number of trips to be in the top 10% of kids who are the most traveled? Would 5 make any sense to you? No, that's right in the middle. Must be more than 5, duh, right? All right, I've got the answer. Because I typed in 0.9 for top 10%, and I put in 5 because that's where the average goes, and 2.5, and take a guess. What do you think is?
Like 12 local team.
Nope.
10.
9.
8.2. These are hard to do in your head, aren't they? If you have an 8, then would you agree that you are more than one standard deviation above normal? And I also would have thought it would have been like 9 or 10, but hey, calculator's smarter than I am. All right, let's do one more example of how you'd use this. So let's do that ACT question again. Do you remember what the average ACT is? This is a fact, not just a guess. 20, good. And the standard deviation, do you remember from yesterday?
5.4.
Very good, 5.4. Let's say that you want to be in the top 10% of kids nationwide. Then what exactly would you type into your calculator if you want to be in the top 10% of kids nationwide on the ACT? You can figure out what score you need. If you want to be in the top 10%, it's still 90th percentile, 0.90, and then 20, and then 5.4. Now I want you to guess what ACT score puts you in the top 10%. We've had a guess of 30. Now you had to go higher or lower than that.
27.
So you're going lower. Top 10%. What are you saying?
28.
28. Anybody else? This is just a guess. All right, I'm going to cheat and pick 29, although it brackets me in. I only win if I say 29, so I'm going to say 29. Well, we'll see. All right, so now I'm going to go back and do inverse normal, 0.9, and a 20 average, comma, and then a 5.4 standard deviation, and it's 27. A 27 ACT puts you in the top 10% in the land. Now, does it put you in the top 10% locally? Nope. Locally, the average scores are higher than this. But this is the nationwide ACT averages. You need a 27 to be in the top 10%. And again, this is not published by ACT Corporation, but this is Googled. And I know this one's correct as of last year's data, and they don't have this year's data. They never tell you till the year's over with. But standard deviation that was Googled by somebody, it could be off a little bit. But it'd probably be pretty close to this answer. All right. So when people are like, but I want a 30 ACT, I'm thinking to myself, you're asking for a lot, because 27 is even top 10%. All right. But there are scholarships sometimes for schools where it's like, if you get a 30 ACT and you have at least a 3.8 GPA, we're going to give you this huge amount of money off. And so then people are like, well, then I really want a 30 ACT because I'm going to get a huge amount of money off. And that's just being smart. So I bet you anything, a lot of kids go to those same schools and never knew that scholarship was out there. And they might have missed it by 2 points on their ACT. All they would have had to do is raise their ACT 2 points and they would have saved like 20 grand a year. Seriously. And some people just don't know that that's out there.
And you can take the ACT multiple times.
You can take it 12 times. The ACT will allow you to take it 12 times.
Yeah, up to 12.
Yes.
How do you find out what programs are first passed?
Good question. You go on their webpage, and they usually have a area for scholarships. And then you really got to drill down, because sometimes it's like, if you live in Alaska and you have this scholarship, you get certain scholarships. Like for instance, people that go to Iowa. Do you get a lot of people from Minnesota would logically, since it's only one state over, go to Iowa? Well, Iowa does not have reciprocity, meaning you don't get like the same price. You're out of state. But they have huge scholarships then to try to lure Minnesota people to come down there. So they have huge scholarships, but you got to have a certain ACT score. That's an example of one where I know one guy that they saved, I think it was $8,000 a year times 4, so that's $32,000 because their kid got a higher ACT score. That's a lot of money. Okay, so what are we doing today with the top 20? Why does it matter? It helps your ACT score, and these little questions will be buried in pre-calc all the time. So when you go there next year, you'll be happy you had a better score on this now. Now, what if it goes badly? Well, I'm warning you, it's worth a lot of points in formative. So then retake it. But you can't retake it at home with your smart older brother or your calculator. You'll have to do it in class with me on a retake. It has to be done in class so that I can make sure that you don't cheat on it. All right? So, really don't think of this as the last. This is just the last one I'm going to make everybody take. And if after this you want to take a retake, we've got quite a few review days where you could take another one. Just get these down. Now is your chance. If you can fix this now, your pre-calc year's so much better. All right. This is the part where I want to give you some scratch paper and we will actually start. So find the Schoology quiz. You may begin at any time. You have to finish by the end of the hour. And try to be a little careful. If you're not sure how to enter it, ask me. And that's all I have for you for the video for today.